Got a couple more questions, Tim, before we move on. First, what is your thoughts about adding gas to the metal to combat shrinkage?
Yes.
Yeah, I call that organic modification. There's always gas in a casting. It's not necessarily to your advantage to have it gas-free all the time. It's a match up to what your customer requirements is, to what the casting is, and it's an economic matchup. It depends on, again, where you want to go with your part. Adding gas in, what it does is it takes up some of that shrinkage porosity we talked about. Mm-hmm. It takes up some of that volume expansion of that, and it gives and it'll make your part. It spreads that out, so you tend not to congregate your shrinkage and stuff. And that's basically what it does. Very common practice, why it's so important to identify the gas level you have, and then know the gas level you want, because it may be two different things. It's just not always get it all out.
If the criteria is a good surface finish, then the internal doesn't matter, right? So the hydrogen porosity is never on the surface. So and shrink can be, and shrink typically is. So if you want to eliminate your shrink, or you have a corner that needs to be good where you don't need shrink in the corner of the casting, sometimes a gas level is okay.
Pretty much a standard practice in permanent mold, depending on certain parts, to add some gas in some form or another. I've seen potatoes, I've seen 2x4s, I've seen pretty much everything used to add a little gas into the part.
Typically on a 356, if you have a 2.59 specific gravity where you measure your reduced pressure test sample, a sample solidified under vacuum, if it's 2.59 or higher, you're not going to have hydrogen porosity in your casting. It's lower than that, you can, and the farther lower it gets, the more hydrogen that will be in there. But if you wanted hydrogen gas in the casting, so to reduce that shrink, as we talked about earlier, you might say, okay, I need to run in a range of 2.46 to 2.50, and that's where using specific gravity is the best way to evaluate the amount of hydrogen that's in your molten aluminum.